I'd like to ask you first. Anyone, please? What is context? Come on, everyone. What is context? Hey, Adila, please.
What is the question, sir?
The situation.
Pertanyaannya apa, Pak? Tadi sinyalnya jelek.
What is context? So that's the warming up question. What is context? Context here. What is context?
Perhaps, in my opinion, context is about the materials in the learning process.
A second, sorry. Will you please repeat your statement? What is context?
I think, in my opinion, context is the materials. What the materials in learning process?
The material in the learning process. That's context. Okay.
Perhaps, sir.
Anyone else, please? The other, please.
May I answer?
Yeah, sure, Mega, please.
Maybe I think context is a topic that we are talking about.
The topic that we are talking about is context.
Yeah.
The topic that we are talking about, it's context. Okay, and then? Okay, who else, please try to define the context. Okay, thank you, Mega, Adila. So please relate, because it's context has close relationship with meaning. So you can relate the definition with meaning, I think. It will be better. Anyone, please? Afina, you want to try?
May I answer again, sir?
Sure, please, Adila.
I get from Wikipedia that context is the condition when something happen.
The condition when something happen. Okay, it can be, yeah. For example?
Example like the room, the real object, the view.
The room, the object. Okay. Okay. So the situation, right? The background. That's the keyword. And anyone else, please, wants to try? Because this one is important for you, for the starting point in understanding our next discussion. Okay, so I would like to relate context with meaning. Context is, it's my according to my wording, right? The environment or the situations, that's correct. The environment or the situations that confirm the meaning, confirm the meaning of an utterance or text. That's context. Without knowing the context, it is difficult for us to interpret the text. So we have to know the context. For example, please open it. Please open it. I say, please open it. So do you know what I mean? What should I open? Right? So maybe you have the further questions like, what should I open, sir? Is this me? Sorry, what should I open? So you don't know. So you need confirmation, right? You need confirmations to make your interpretation clearer. So you need context. So, for example, open it. So I direct my finger to the door, a door, for example. So it means that open the door. If the context is I, for example, look at the book, open it. So it means that it refers to the book. Open the book. If I refers, for example, while I say the sentence, and then while staring at the box, so you will understand. Oh, what I should open is the box. The box, for example. Open it, please. It refers to the box. So context means the environment or the situation that confirm the meaning of the text. Right? Do you get the point? Do you understand? Yes? Okay. So it means that without the context, we cannot draw some conclusions about the text or utterance. Okay, so talking about context, here we have the description like this. It was suggested above. We need a model of language that helps us understand how text work to make meaning, right? This in turn enable us to facilitate learners' interpretations and productions of text. Yes, that's right. So context is very crucial. It's the key point, I think, in making interpretation. Here, systemic functional grammar, I have to admit, your friends, systemic functional grammar can do this. How? Because of the way this model of language explain the connections between context and text. So we will relate, we will have discussions about the relation between context and text, how context influence the text. Okay, now let's move now. Okay, I hope that you get the point of the meaning of the context. So let's move to the next concept. We'd like to begin explaining context and text connections with the proportions that, remember, all meaning is situated in the first one. This one is the kinds of context. Context of situations, yeah. Remember, context. There are two kinds of context: context of situations, and the second one is context of culture. Take the utterance. This one is the example, right? Just put it beside those others. Those ones, those other ones. Just put it beside those other ones. So, well, it refers to what? What does it refers to, right? So maybe the question is this, like the previous example, the other one. So, what are the other ones? We don't know what it refers to. We don't know what the other one refers to. We don't know. So it means that the meaning remains obscure. The meaning becomes unclear until we know the context. Except we know the context. Here is the context. Until we know that it was said to a removalist. This one is the context. To a removalist who had just lurked in another cartoon household goods during moving one of us to Brisbane. So the situation is about someone who helps to bring or move removalist, right? Or tukang. In the context of moving from one house to the other new one, right? In Brisbane. So it means that the thing, the household goods, refers to the household goods. So it refers to the household goods. Those other thing refers to the household goods, right? Like that. So we know what does it refers to. What do other ones refer to? Because of the context. Remember, context is the environment or situations that confirm the accuracy of meaning. If we know the context, we know the meaning. If we don't know the context, it's difficult for us to interpret or making interpretations of a text or utterance, right? So this one is the example of the context of situations, guys. Context of situations. Note that the meaning also culturally situated. This one is the example of context of culture. It is stated here that meaning is also culturally situated. Why? And this one is the example. In the Anglo way of doing things, it is permissible to hire total strangers to pack our materials goods into boxes, right? Yes. We can ask for some help to the stranger. Hi, can you help me please? For example, I need to lift this stuff there from here to there. For example, it's okay in the Anglo culture. Hold them halfway across the country, and then for these or other total strangers to tolerate carrying and being told where to put these boxes by. This one is it's only for women. It's only women who can do this, who can ask for help to the total stranger. It's okay. So it means that we know, oh, okay, the utterance is this utterance, this sentence is told by a woman, because culturally it's only a woman who can say so. Right? Removal is a cultural act, no less than folk dancing. The utterance just put it beside the others ones is meaningful within the context of culture and the context of situation. Yes, we agree with that. That just put it beside the other ones. Okay, it will make sense if we know the context of situations and then the context of culture. Like that. Or maybe let's have the other example example, like in Sundanese language, you know that in Sundanese language there are some language variation, right? Language variations. The language vary. The language varies. For example, for the first variation of Sundanese, that for the speaker who has close relation, and then the language that is used by a younger to the older would be different. The older to the younger would be different. The language of the students to the teacher would be different in Sudanese language. Let's take the example of the words it. It. For example, because Agung and Fahri are close friends, so Agung will say, Fahri is Daharchan, for example. Fahri is Daharchan, right? And then it would be different. The same meaning would be different. Will be differently conveyed by different from. If Lisa, for example, asked to me, Pak, sudah atas tuang tak acang? Dahar and tuang, right? Dahar and tuang. So from the utterance, because of the culture, right? In Sundanese culture, in Sundanese language culture, we know that dahar means that the language is used by the participants in the conversations with the same age or has close relationship. So it means that, oh, okay, from the sentence Fahri is Daharchan, so it means that Agung and Fahri have the same power. The age, for example, their age is the same, and then maybe Fahri and Agung have very close relationship. It's normal to say that Fahri is Daharchan. Nah, from the other utterance, Lisa to me, Pak, atas tuang tak acan. So it means that Lisa use the more polite diction, right? More polite words. So from the culture, we know that, okay, so it means that Alan is older, or maybe is more senior, or maybe the teacher, or maybe the older one, or maybe someone who has more power than Lisa, for example. Why do we want? Why can we know the interpretations? Because of the help of the culture, context of culture, right? Dahar, tuang, nada, nyatu, lalebok, daang. So there are so many variations of the word it in Sundanese. So it means that the Sundanese culture give some clues, right? Give some clues to interpretation. What's behind it, right? You can reveal. You can reveal who speak to whom. You can reveal the social identity, the social class between the speaker. Yeah, do you get the point?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I try as slow as possible because that estimation context of culture. So this one is the example of context situations. This one is the example of context. Context of culture determines what we can mean through. Yes. From the context of culture, we know who we are. Who are the guys I use for the
Bapak,
it is yeah Mega.
maaf putus-putus tadi.
Oh yeah, my connection here is unstable, so sorry. Okay, it's okay now, right? Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. Now, so I'd like to repeat again. Context of culture determines what we can mean through we are, what we do, and what we say. This one is the example. This applies to all of us. Yes. Suppose, like one of us, you grew up in the Midwestern United States, the eldest daughter in a large farming family. Being the eldest daughter in these circumstances automatically cast one in the role of Mama Little Helper, right? That's who you are in the family. This turn largely determines what you do within the family and what you say. Yes, because of the culture. Protesting that you don't want to do the ironing or that the babysit is a smelly brat isn't allowed. Remember that. Is there the first child, the first daughter in your family? Who is the first daughter in your family? Mega, are you the first daughter?
No.
No. Adila?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let's take Adila's culture. So because you are born as the first daughter in your family, so it means that you will be the vice mom. You will be the little mom, right? So what your mom do will be handled by you, right? For example, to wash dishes, to wash clothes, to clean the floor, right? To what else? To do ironing, to keep the cleanliness of your house, right? So it means that you, because you are in that culture, the context of culture determines who Adila is. Yes, Adila is the first daughter in the family. What Adila does, yes, handling becomes the mama's little helper. Yes, taking care of your little brother or sister, right? Like that. Yeah, accompanying your little brother or sister to school. Yes, that's what you may do, becoming the first daughter. What we do, yeah, what Adila does, yes, you will do like that. And then the situations also influence what Adila says because of the context. Let's take the other example. we are in the context, right? We are in the context of what? Class, scientific class environment. Let's take that's the context of culture. So the culture of being a teacher, who I am the teacher, right? Who I am a teacher. What I do, yes, I shared knowledge. I have to explain the material. I have to make a discussion. I have to lead the meeting here in this class. What I say, yes. What I as a teacher say will be different from what you will say as a teacher, of course. Maybe for the dominant thing about saying, right, about the teacher saying would be the explanations. They dominantly will give explanations about the materials, while for the students, maybe the dominant will be here, the teacher explanations, and will propose some questions relating to the materials. Maybe it would be like that. That would be the culture. But in some discussions, maybe because it will be different if, for example, the learning process is centered to the students, for example. But now in this class, because this one is the theoretical subject, so I have to give you some explanation first before I ask you to make an analysis, right? And so I have to explain first. Yeah, so it means that yes, this applies to all of us. We have each students here, each person has their own role in their life in different contexts of culture. So that is the context of culture. Remember that context of culture, maybe if it will be the context of culture, while context of situation, it will be more specific, would be like this maybe. So now let's talk about the context of situation. Yeah, context of situations can be specified through the use of register variable. This one. Remember, there are two kinds of context. The first one is context of culture, the largest one. The second one is context of situation. Here, in the context of the situations, can be specified through the use of registers variable. Okay. Remember, in the context of situations, there are three variables. The first one is field. Second one is tenor. The third one is mode. Field, tenor, mode, like that. Field, tenor, mode. Context of culture, context of situations. Variable in the context situations, they are field, tenor, and mode. What is field? Okay, now, field refers to what's going on. On the other words, it is about the topic of the text, the topic of conversations, or the topic of text. That's okay. What is being talked about? That is field, the topic. It includes activity focus, nature or social activity, and then the object focus or the subject matter. So field specifies what's going on with reference to what. What is being talked about? So maybe I think it would be simpler than this one in interpreting this. Okay, that is field. Remember, in the context of situations, there are three. The first one is field. Field is the what is being talked about or the topic of the text or conversation. And then the second one is tenor. Tenor refers to the social relationship. This one, social relationship between those taking part Who speaks to whom? So that's tenor. Who is involved in the text, in the conversation? That is tenor. So in tenor, it includes status or power. Yes, you know that. Let's say, let's take the same example like teacher and student. Which one do you think has more power between teacher and student? Which one? The teacher or student?
Teacher.
Yeah, of course, teacher has more power than student, right? So the one who has more power will use the language feature of direct language, because the teacher has more power, more powerful than the students. For example, it is okay if a teacher say, Mega, please close the door. Close the door, please, Mega. It's okay, right? The utterance is very direct, asking Mega to have the door closed. But because Mega has less power than me as the teacher, so you cannot, because the situations doesn't allow you to use the direct sentence as I as a teacher do. So you are not allowed. It's okay, but you will be considered impolite, I think, if you say, sir, close the door. Right? It's impolite, right? Sir, close the door, please. Even you use very long, please. So still, it will be considered as impolite. Why? Because in that situations, you have less power. But if you, for example, use the sentence to your little brother or sister, for example, that's okay, because now then the situations is different, that you have more power than your little sister or brother, right? So you can use it. Brother, please close the door. It's okay. So that's true, right? That from the tenor here refers to the social relation. So we can know who speak to whom. We can know who has more power, who has higher status, social status, from the utterance, from the language that is used, right? So it involves status and power, affect, contact, and skill. Second. A second, sorry. I have to reply. Text. Where is the... It's gone. Wait a second. Wait a second. Sorry, everyone.